right, that is a proper noise. Oh my God.
Just warm it up a little bit.
Just warming it up, yeah. We are in the new C8 Z06, the Corvette Z06. So if you're not familiar, C8, obviously generation, 8th generation Corvette after the C7. And as with the C7, they released the regular Stingray. Then we got the Z06 version, and then there was a higher ZR1. This is the Z06 now of the C8. And I've spent a lot of time with the regular C8 Stingray, and I like it. It went mid-engine. Oh, I know this road. I've driven here before. This is actually the regular C8 Z06. There's a Z07 equipped one that's behind us, and we'll hop in that, I think, after this, right on the way back.
That's right.
Yeah, we covered some of the other, we walked around the exterior, the interior, the engine in the other video, so go check out the walk-around tour. But 5.5 liter flat plane crank V8, naturally aspirated. Red line is 8,600 RPM. I'm looking right now at the digital tech, and yes, the red,
there it is.
Still an 8-speed dual clutch. And that's the other amazing thing. Do you hear that? The speed at which you rev from whatever, neutral idle to red line is so fast with a flat plane crank.
That's what we really wanted to highlight with this, is that was crucial to be able to have that ability to get up there and down, and it's why you buy this, right?
Yes, absolutely.
It's got vibrations that most engines don't.
Yep.
But you pay for it with, or you
the trade-off.
You reap the benefit when you get this immediacy that no other engine really has.
That's, oh my!
I mean, the tech just jumps, right?
Yeah. That's so. My only complaint I had with the regular C8 Stingray was the LT2 was missing some of the emotion and charisma. It made fantastic power, and what it did with that power was phenomenal. Like 0 to 60 under 3 seconds. Very capable around the track, but it redlined a little too low, and the way it built speed was different than like a more exotic car. And just from the right seat and hearing this and experiencing it so far, this solves that problem.
It does, you know.
Wow.
It's interesting now when I get into a regular type RPM limit engine, you know, 6,000, 6,500, which is nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah.
It feels like, what happened? You know, oh, you're shifting already?
Yeah.
And so it kind of spoils you. And this is new for us, right? It's very different formula for a Corvette. But I think what we're excited about is this kind of gets back to the bespoke engine that created this whole brand, essentially.
Yeah.
You know, in the C2, the box you check to get the Z06 option, you know, promised a certain thing, brought it back in C5 with the LS6. LS7 obviously is legendary, and this kind of has that same formula of this naturally aspirated, bonkers engine. And I still love to think about the LS7 of a 7,000 RPM 7-liter engine. Like, who does that?
That was crazy.
We did, and now this one to me is, oh my God, I can't believe GM did this.
Yeah.
When you get to see this thing exposed and all the parts that come out of it, I mean, it's as good as you can do. The best suppliers in the world, the best tolerances, everything's machined on this. Like, there's nothing that's just cast and throw it together, you know? This thing truly is exotic, and we're putting it in a Chevrolet that promises you don't have to sell your house to buy one.
You don't need to sell a kidney or 401k and your children to buy one. Like,
and so it's this perfect amalgam of that type of exotic experience. And what we wanted to do on the dynamics side is to match that.
Okay.
So we didn't talk about it yet, but like the engine mounts and powertrain mounts, similar theory and mounting and what they do as the Stingray.
Okay.
But we tighten up the travels quite a bit.
Okay. Still magnetic ride for the suspension too.
A little traction limited today.
Oh yeah, a little bit, but that's
I had to paddle it in third. We were probably gonna lose it a little bit in third, but
that and this is on PS4S. I don't know how the Cup 2Rs are doing in this rain and whatnot.
Yeah, damp, cold roads aren't the best. One of the best ones we did this year is we went to Coda in Texas,
Oh my God.
which is pretty...
How do these sound echoing off the stands there?
Oh, yeah.
Just unbelievable.
Wonderful.
Right?
Yep. One of the best parts of the trip. Yep.
Power hasn't been officially announced. It will be by the time this video is out. But right now we're talking, I was told, the highest power of a naturally aspirated V8 in a production car ever. So that beats Mercedes, which should be the SLS Black Series at 622. And then, so if it only made 623 horsepower, that would still be phenomenal. Even though that's a little bit less than the C8 Z06, mid-engine house put it down way better. I would not be upset about that. But we're told double-digit increases over that next most powerful naturally aspirated V8. So basic math would say between 620 to 700 probably. Wow. Yeah, okay.
You're on track. Yeah, we've got a shorter final drive on this, so it better matches the engine, that needs to be higher in RPM range to extract the power. So it's a shorter final drive.
Okay. What was like the direct benchmark? Like, what cars did you guys buy for benchmarking that you wanted to kind of target with this?
Yeah, we've been seen with the 458 from 2009 to 2015, and that was, I think most people consider kind of the high water mark for the perfect mid-engine formula, right? Of an established chassis with an exotic engine that's naturally aspirated. That seems like what, if you had to draw one up as a kid or buy one with your own money, it's kind of that engine. So, the sound character of that car is pretty revered, and I think most people would say Ferrari's kind of had to walk away from it with turbos, right? Where it's hard to have that same natural atmospheric exhaust sound when you've got hair dryers on the exhaust side. So that was kind of the sound target. Okay. I think chassis-wise, we've looked at some of the higher end Porsches. Okay. That
was a GT2 RS you guys had?
Yeah, we've been seen with that. So obviously that's an expensive car. I think it indicates how serious we are. Yeah. Where we're not just buying the base model. Nothing that's wrong with the base model by any means. But
that's not what you're targeting.
It's we're shooting for the moon here, and I think we have the knowledge and architecture and the parts to do it, right? Where we're not limited by anything we've tied our hands behind our back. Like this engine, the speed of this transmission, the tires, there's brakes, they're all kind of the best in the world that we can do. And then I wanted to talk too about the chassis setup. So early on, we talked about this engine is so quick to get up and down in its revs. We want to have this feeling of urgent, immediate responses. So a steering input that will match that when I hit the pedal, brake pedal or accelerator pedal, it's going to respond quickly. So when I do a steering input,
it's instantaneous. I
don't want any lag between what I do and the front engine, or the mid-engine architecture allows you to have a light front that just kind of dials it in quickly. Have Alex do that for you in that car too.
That one, I'm sure with grippier tires and the warmth, that'd be even better.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive, and the carbon wheel just makes that even more.
Less unsprung weight.
Yep. So you're moving around, less inertia. So this car, we went to significantly higher spring rates than we've ever done on Corvette, and compared to the Stingray. So much so that we now have helper springs. So when you have to make a stiff spring, it tends to get short. And you can't have a lot of length with it. To maintain proper rebound travel, you use a helper spring to keep everything engaged when the wheels droop. So that's a pretty trick thing.
Interesting.
Like, we've never had that with NGM. And it's a flat ground spring, so it's trick, racy stuff. And I don't know, you can probably tell right away, Eddie. I mean, it's more reading the road, and it's less pitch, motion, less roll.
It's like the damping, like you go over a bump and it does like one little rebound, then you're good, you're settled again.
Yeah, it kind of just brings this urgent racehorse straining at the reins feel that we just want to deliver. And then the engine just does this beautiful crescendo of LS7 like pouring on the camshafts. And
that's what this car needed. It needed a charismatic, emotional, special engine. That was up to 6,000 RPM, and in the LT2, you'd be almost at red line. And it's time to ship.
We're just getting started.
That was, you have another 2,500 RPM left to go. And that's the type of thing that, like, you get with a 458, an R8, a GT3. Honestly, that's why I love my Shelby 350R, the Voodoo. It just, I'm sure you guys probably figure that also as part of the comparison.
Yeah, certainly. You know, they were, front engine, so it's a little more architecturally constrained for like their exhaust setup is very different than what we do.
This sounds very, very different from the Voodoo. I mean, you might look at it and go, oh, it's a 5-point-something liter flat plane crank V8.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah,
this is much more exotic.
Even just the cylinder firing order, is different compared to that. But the one thing I wanted to mention too is the exhaust sound then in cabin.
Yeah.
We brought a lot of that in.
Okay.
And that was those reverse megaphone tips back there. It kind of delivers that feel where we've got an induction noise, but then you also get the beautiful exhaust sound.
Will you be able to get the convertible at launch?
Yes.
Okay.
So no delay between them. That was only
Targa
to start.
Or the convertible.
Yeah, the convertible.
This with the top down and that sound.
Well, that's what I love is even if you just put the mid window down.
Yes.
You get all of that richness and don't have, on a rainy day, you can still do
absolutely. That's a proper sound.
The moment we had one of these engines in the car, we started doing that.
Yeah.
And it hasn't quit ever since.
All right, so this is now the Z07 package, which aero, better wheels, carbon fiber wheels.
You got
aero, carbon fiber wheels, better tires. What else? Same power, obviously.
same power. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Suspension stays the same or
No,
retuned?
Yep.
Okay, because
so,
of aero.
Yeah, the spring rates are about, if we talk ride frequencies, which is close to what you're going to feel as a passenger, about 8% higher than the car you were in. Different front and rear, obviously. But,
Gotcha.
And then retuned MR dampers.
Okay.
Brakes, obviously the carbon brakes.
Yes.
With a different tune, all the traction control, all that stuff gets a unique tune.
Okay.
If you buy the carbon fiber wheels, you get a different steering calibration to take advantage of that additional preciseness. Sort of the small, fast movements are much easier on the carbon wheels. So we wanted to let as much of that through as possible.
So it's substantial. You couldn't just buy a base Z06 and just throw the wing on and be like, done, I have a Z07. It's not, you could not do that at all.
As we talk about kind of why you would buy the Z07 and carbon wheels, it's all that. All those things are integrated in and calibrated around. So you really get the most out of the cup tire. Yeah. If you put that stuff on a Z06, you're going to wind up with a less integrated whole package.
Kind of janky, homemade Z07. Don't do that.
Right. Yeah.
Oh man. So you've covered, I think, all the differences between these two. What is your favorite part about the new Z06?
Oh man. I mean, I go back and forth whether it's the engine or this super direct chassis. Okay. We all of us involved got to be. We were right in line with what we wanted. So Aaron and I almost don't have to talk to each other about what we wanted this car to be.
Oh, okay. All on the same page.
The urgency, this like straining at the leash, like just instant response, everything linear. Kind of the soul that you get in the flat plane crank, but with the precision and capability of like a 911. Yeah. Just that whole mission for the cars was so clear that now that driving experience in the chassis is super satisfying for me. We were just out at pit race this week. Okay. And you just get absorbed in the car so quickly. Yeah. But then you got the flat plane crank engine, the 8,600 RPM redline. Yeah. The sound, I'm a complete sound fanatic. I think, I'm so glad we got the center exit to work on this car. Yeah.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was just talking about. Like when you go to EV, you lose that. You can't capture that emotion. The sound is, and it's hard. It's something that's hard to quantify and explain to just regular people.
Yes, true. There's nothing like Germany. You know.
Yeah.
The ring is amazing.
Wait, we're gonna make some noise.
The whole. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, the ring, Germany. You're saying,
Yeah. So yeah, the whole car atmosphere in Germany is pretty fantastic.
Yeah.
You get just a ton of. The Autobahn is a super intense experience, and then you do these great curvy V roads, and they'll drop into a super small old town. Then you drive through the brick line streets, and the thing sounds great. It was it was an amazing place with this car.
And the thing is, like, it's a C8, so you have all the latest tech and luxury features: blind spot warning, digital rear view mirror, you've got heated and cooled seats, front lift, like all these things. Everything I just listed there, my R8 doesn't have. No blind spot warning, no front lift, no cooled seats. I'm like, come on.
And what we should do, because we're in the Z07 actually, is put this in tour mode and drive, and then pretty soon we're going to be in, once it does one more gear shift. There we go, now we're in a cross-country comfort.
Does it still have cylinder deactivation?
No, it doesn't have cylinder deactivation.
Thank you.
So,
okay, no more cylinder deactivation.
Nope.
Does it have auto stop start?
Nope.
All right, there we go.
Nope.
Because auto stop start drives me insane.
Yeah. So now it's back to a comfortable Corvette.
This is I mean, the exhaust quieted down. It's mag ride means you have very comfortable ride. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, what this ride along has now done is making me question if I put my R8 up for sale and pick up a Z06. Yeah, there we go. That's an endorsement. As big of an endorsement I can give from sitting right seat. Like, the noises this thing makes, the way it's going to look, even with camo and me looking at it and stuff like that, in person, with some of these capabilities that Aaron and Alex have been talking about. Oh, yeah. You guys did it right.
Awesome.
This is fantastic. Thank you so much for the ride and everything, getting to check it out. Obviously, when this video is up, you will have seen the official launch. Check it out. Hope you guys enjoyed this behind-the-scenes engineering experience, getting to see it. As a former mechanical engineer, I enjoy learning about these type of things and talking to a fellow engineer and people who are just at the top of their field, making one of the best American sports cars ever. Thanks for watching.